Can you? Welcome to Mixtape Monday, Tarot fam. So, I got my bangs out of my face. I was over at Chop Chop Bang Bang in Asbury Park with my buddy Steven. I was getting cleaned up and sorted out. So, hair is looking fab. I feel great. Today is Sunday, but this is your Mixtape Monday for August 19th. So, I'm going to blast through some questions and then I'm going to take a pause in the video and I'm going to go and I'm going to dig out some more requests because I know they got buried in some comments. I got a lot of new subscribers, so thank you so much. Welcome to those of you that are new, and we're going to have some fun. So if it's your first time here, I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. I am a psychic, medium, tarot reader, divination expert. I guess I'm a divination expert. I also teach. I have a digital platform where right now I have a Lenormand class up that you can purchase discounted for the rest of the month. And I also have a free 3-day tarot class so you can get into some tarot cards. I have been studying tarot for most of my life. It is an evolving practice. You will always learn something new. Lenormand is very quick. You can learn how to read cards very, very quickly. Just in a few hours, you can actually get a really good grasp on the deck. But tarot, it takes a little bit longer. I have a 101 class coming up in September. So back to school, that's going to be pretty beefy. So if you're looking to study tarot, there will be options to have a private class with me included in the class. So you can absolutely look forward to that. Also, really big reminder, my private readings are still discounted for the entire month of August. September 1st, they're going back up to regular price. So if you want to get a reading at a discounted price for the 20% off for the summer, jump in there because I got plenty of time left for the rest of the month, but usually that gets pretty tight after a few days. So let's bring up our card view and start talking about Mixtape Monday. Mixtape Monday is where I embrace my Generation X self and we go in and do a mixtape of your requests, your readings. I get lots of reading requests, and this is an easy way for me to do it fast and dirty and keep you guys well entertained. So we are going to kick it off and bring up our card view. And I will tell you, I was cuddling with my cat Pusheen today. I have a little bit of a leaky eye. We are going to be working with the Phantom Wise Tarot today. So, first question I have from one of my longtime followers, Karen. This one's for you. What a mess. So, Markle won't get any pushback. No one will call her out. This was on my Harry Goes Home series from last week. She responded in part 7. So, will anyone ever push back on Meghan Markle? Will anyone call her out on this craziness? Will anyone call her out? And as always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. The lovers. That is a business relationship. 8 of Cups. Not splitting that up. 7 of Swords being as sneaky as possible. The 6 of Swords until we get out of this mix. And then 8 of Pentacles. She is going to keep on 9 of Cups in reverse. She's never going to get what she wants. And the 3 of Swords in reverse. So she's going to keep on doing what she does to achieve her own ends. This is something we're going to see forever. We're never going to get this to go away. It's very, very unfortunate. The partnership here, we are not breaking up from it with that 8 of Cups in reverse. The 7 of Swords, we know that that's a shady mix shadester. Over here, the 6 of Swords is when we escape that, she's going to keep working at this particular practice, which is very unfortunate. Up here, 9 of Cups in reverse, never going to get what she wants. And under the surface, we have that 3 of Swords, which is always, always, always going to be that wounded heart. So that is unfortunate for Meghan Markle. So let's see if anyone is going to blast her out on this, and we'll do a speed round on this. So will we ever get a public dressing down by anyone? Will we get a public dressing down from King Charles? No. He will sever ties quietly with them, but he is not going to give her a dressing down. Will William ever call her out publicly? Very, very possibly with that Page of Swords. I think we may hear something from him. Will Catherine ever respond to it? Temperance, no. She doesn't want to create that that ebb and flow, the back and forth fighting that someone would do. Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, we all love her. Queen of Cups, she is always going to show her distaste. She's always going to have a pickle face whenever Meghan Markle is mentioned. That's pretty much a good thing. How about Andrew? Are we ever going to hear Andrew have anything to say about her? Andrew, Ace of Wands. I think something may come to the surface. We may find out something about relations, hanging out, that kind of thing. What about the Wales children? Let's see if we ever hear something from George. Fast forward to a million years in the future. George. George will use this situation. I think I've said this before in other readings to illustrate imbalance and injustice. I think he's going to use this situation as a teachable moment, possibly for his children, possibly for other people in the royal family or in other endeavors that he's involved in. I do see George going into other endeavors at some point in his life other than just being the monarch. So I'm not sure what's going to happen to the monarchy at some point, but it's going to change. What about Princess Charlotte? Will she have anything to say? She will absolutely have something to say later on. She is not going to keep this quiet. More so, I think she is going to be the standard bearer within the family to really illustrate bad behavior. This is bad behavior. What about Louis? Louis. Louis's really not going to have much of a recollection. I think he was kept separate from her and not really influenced by her. I think they really kept him kind of away. If you think about it, they've been gone for 4 years. He really was a baby. He may not even have any recollection. So I left somebody out here. Oh, Sophie. What about Sophie? Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. Sophie, again, is much like King Charles. They're on the outside. Not that song from the 90s, but they're on the outside. We don't have to worry about them. They are a situation that we're not dealing with. Edward, he too, they're very much in alignment. Sophie and Edward, they're just not. They're not bothered by this person. She's gone. She is not a part of their life anymore. Who did I leave out? Ba, 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 ba. How about Eugenie? Did she ever call them out? No, she's going to protect herself. And then we have her sister, Beatrice. Beatrice is just going to do her own thing. She's not going to get involved in any of this chaos. What they basically consider outside of the York family. They're more concerned about their own thing. So scrolling down. Again, thank you so much for being here. This is departing from the royal family. So I'm just bringing myself back up for a second. So we all know that Matthew Perry's passing is now being investigated as, I believe it's a wrongful death, as opposed to a murder. It's not a murder, but I think it's a wrongful death situation that they're going into. But 5 individuals are people of interest. I don't know if I'm using the correct term, but they are people that they are investigating. They are going to have a lot of questions about it. There's a queen of the K word that was involved in this. There are 2 doctors. They had text messages that said some awful things. They called him a moron. They said, how much was he going to pay for this? Let's see how much he's going to pay for it. Which is really terrible, really taking advantage of someone who has a problem. His personal assistant was responsible for actual administration, apparently 3 times before like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which is really terrible. We all know from historically, if you're of an age, the John Belushi situation, the gal that that administered his final dose, she did do some time. She was in some trouble. She had a very interesting history too. We could do a reading on her sometime because she was involved with a lot of celebrities. But so back to Matthew Perry. Someone had asked me on Eyes, I see you. I don't know if you guys want me to call out your names on this. So let me know in the comments. Like if you ask questions, like say yes, shout me out. Some people don't want to be shouted out. Some people do. So Eyes, this was in Prince Harry Part 5, Harry Returns Home Part 5. Please do a reading on how the Friends cast feels about the Matthew Perry arrest. So let's start with Matt, what's his name? Full disclosure, I didn't watch Friends. I'm the right age, but they were not my people. I thought they were very vapid and very annoying, and knowing what New York apartments are like very unrealistic. I did have a lot of friends like them, and I did have a lot of friends that liked the show. So, I think it's okay. It's funny. I was more of a Seinfeld gal, just saying, more of a crusty girl. So, but let's look. We're gonna start with Matt, whatever his name is, the guy who played Joey. I don't know, we'll bring up the card view. Let's see how he's feeling about this. Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords. He is actually very glad that this happened because he thinks that there is truth in this situation, that he was kind of taken advantage of, or yeah, I don't want to say taken advantage of, but that they utilized his Matthew Perry's problems. They utilized them for their own gain, which is atrocious. He's very, very keen on following the legalities of this. He is not hopeful that they are going to do any time. He really feels like this is going to be a situation where they are going to say, well, Matthew Perry had an issue, had some problems, and was unable to control himself, and therefore there is some personal responsibility in the mix here. Do I agree with that to a certain extent? Should you be doing what you're doing online if you are a doctor, or doing what those doctors did? And absolutely not. That's totally not part of your Hippocratic oath. So, so let's look at David Schwimmer. David Schwimmer is a little bit different. He's very emotional about this, but he really wants more privacy. He's very angry about it, but he does want more privacy for his friend. There's something about the dignity of um of the situation. They just don't want Matthew Perry's memory really. It was one thing when he was found, not unalive. It was another thing when the announcement came out that he was not clean, and then it was another thing when this came out, and it was like, seems kind of sordid and desperate. So he really would like more privacy. If he could ask the courts to just put a muzzle on everybody, he would. He wants it to go through. It's not to say that he doesn't want this to go through in terms of prosecution, but he just doesn't want it splashed all over the place. And there's something about the 70s guy, that Danny, what's his face? There's something about him. He's like, I don't want this splashed out all over the place. Like, we don't know what else is going to come out. He just wants it to be quiet. So, Lisa Kudrow. She's having a very, very hard time managing her emotions about this. It's just getting more awful for her personally. It just really is. She's like, "When is it gonna not be awful anymore? Can it stop?" I just, let's let him rest. There's something about her, um, saying, like, when this is wrapped up, like, he'll be able to rest, and that's kind of it. She doesn't want him, spiritually, riled up there. Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox is stepping into the game. Like, if she could get in there and fight right along with the prosecutors, she would. She is willing to participate. She's willing to offer up all of her information. The key for her is to restore Matthew's good name and to restore some dignity to him. There's a theme of dignity for all 5 of them so far. They really do want his legacy not to be that he failed, that he was a mess. I did get his book on Audible, Matthew Perry's book on Audible, and it's a difficult book, especially if you know anyone who's had any troubles, with something like this. It's a very difficult book to read and or to listen to as I did. And he does read it in his own voice. So, it's very sad. And to know that he had support of his friends, support of his family, and he still failed with all the resources and money in the world because of these nefarious characters that were making things available online, it's very upsetting. And she really wants to restore his character as the actor that he was. And I loved the movie that he was in with Salma Hayek. I can't remember what it was, but they met each other. It was like a one night stand, and she gets pregnant, and she's, Mexican, like from Mexico. And so he's like kind of a straight laced mayonnaise kind of guy. And she like decorates the house, and she's got her whole family there, and like they're a ruckus, and his family's like very quiet, like New England. Like, it's a really, really cute movie. It's a really great movie. Rom-com, if you will. So I do think that he was an amazing comedian. I think he had really good timing. I think he was really great. The Whole Nine Yards was another movie that I loved him in. Physical comedy, and that was really great as well. So, and that was with Bruce Willis and Amanda Peet, who was hot stuff in that. So, if you're unfamiliar with any of those movies, go watch them. So let's look. Jennifer Aniston. Now, I saved her for last because I do think that she had the toughest experience with this. So let's pull up 10 of Pentacles. The bottom has been taken out of her. The Three of Cups and the High Priestess. So there is, when we get that 10 of Pentacles in reverse, that is our foundations are taken out. Now, does this mean that she was under the impression that he was sober and that he wasn't raging still and doing the things that he was doing? I tend to think so. I think maybe she understood that he was going for the K treatments in a clinical professional environment, but I don't think she realized that he was trying to obtain it outside. I don't think she realized that there was still things going on. Very upset with the personal assistant. There's something about that personal assistant that it was like, we trusted him. We trusted him. He knew, and we trusted him. There's something about that. So it's the whole world got turned upside down. Not only did she lose one of her best friends, but her whole belief system in what the reality was is really shaken, which is quite sad. The good news is that she is surrounded by her people. This is group therapy. sticking together with everyone, having conversations. The Three Cups is one of my favorite cards in the deck. I call it the Tribe card. That's from Melissa Sayanova, the amazing tarot reader and author. She wrote Kitchen Table Tarot. I love, love, love that book. It is an amazing book on tarot. Will change your mind about how you look at the tarot. It's a very modern view of reading the cards and divination. So kudos to her. Melissa Sayanova, love you, girl. So the Three of Cups being this tribe card, it's coming together. We are coming together so that we can gain strength from one another. And here I do think that she is shutting down psychically, because she just when we have a hurt, when we have pain like this, we sometimes cannot function psychically. We have to give ourselves a break psychically. So I think that that's okay. Shutting down for a time is okay for her. It's a lot to handle when you lose someone, especially when you are empathic and intuitive, and you breathe into some of that information. So I think that that's totally fine. All in all, how is this going to turn out? How is this Matthew Perry situation going to turn out? Mm, Ten of Swords, Page of Pentacles, the Lovers in reverse, World in reverse, King of Cups. Nobody's going to be happy at the end of this. Ace of Cups, new beginning. Justice under the surface. So I do think that we're going to see some justice. I think those two doctors are going to turn on each other quite severely. I think there's going to be a lot of finger pointing. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know who we were talking about. I think there's going to be a lot of turnaround on this. Perhaps it is also the couriers or the agents of the delivery perhaps will turn around as well. When this situation once was hitting a lot of dead ends, I think there is somebody who talked and who let the police know exactly what the whole situation was. I'm not sure who that person is, but it's somebody who gave them all of the information they needed, which split up everybody in the group. So intuitively, I'm thinking this is the assistant. I think he's trying to make sure that he gets out of trouble and has a new start and can kind of move on. But at the end of all this, is anyone going to feel good? No, no, we're still going to have a very, very uh sad situation, and hopefully the folks on Friends can uh resurrect the good reputation of Matthew Perry. So I'm going to highlight this. This is from Alicia Wicker. She sent this to me for my birthday. This is an angel rose quartz, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and it's one of my new favorite crystals that I have on my desk. So I'm going to use it just to kind of clean those up there while we scroll into some other questions here. So let's see what we have. So this is a fun question. And it was from just a few days ago. It's on Harry Goes Home Part 5 from Purple Rain. Hi, Purple Rain. Does Archie and little Betty have the same mom and dad? I like this question. Let's check it out. So let's pull up this card view. We're going to do two different decks here. This one will be Lily, and this one will be Archie. Let's see if we get the same cards for either of the dads. Curious about this. Archie's dad, Archie's mom. Lily's dad, Lily's mom. So, sorts here, guys. So Archie's dad is not in control of his emotions and is also Lily's dad is kind of burnt out. Are these very similar? Yes, they are very similar personalities we have there. Archie's mom is someone who has gotten over the heartbreak, someone who has released from the heartbreak. So, does that mean we have a third party involved? Yes, someone who is broken, someone who did the job, and we also have this is always some kind of surgeon or doctor or something like that, and this is the person who makes that magic happen, who is a little bit sad about it. So, now over here with Lily's mom, we have someone who is plotting and planning and doing things and is now acting upon it. So let's get a few more clarifier cards on that. We get the lovers putting things together and the Page of Pentacles and the Chariot in reverse. So this gets a little bit interesting because this looks like we put things together in a business fashion. If you follow me for any length of time, you know that the lovers card isn't always lovers for me. It's more often a business agreement, a contract coming together. That's just the way that I read that card. It's the way that it's come up for me after so many years of reading tarot. But this Page of Pentacles not getting what they were supposed to and not moving on is very interesting because this is a fight card. So is this person fighting to regain something? Quite possibly. So I'm not going to say yes or no. I think the dads are very, very similar. I think the moms are dissimilar. I think this Queen of Wands is someone who was more prepared for the outcome, was a little bit sad about what was happening, but it was a job and was moving forward. This particular one, it looks like it was a job and we did not want to see through to the end of it. And we're still embroiled in a little bit of conflict with it. Not moving forward, not moving on, not doing what we need to do. So, interesting little reading on that. Probably more to come in the next 10 to 20 years, but we will see. So, we're going to put that there with a little bit of selenite, and we'll throw this gorgeous angel rose quartz on there. And let's bring this back up and Oh, sorry, my back still hurts, guys. I'm still in therapy. I didn't go to therapy on Friday because I had a wedding that I worked at. So, and Gregopedia did a living portrait at it. So it was pretty wild. So this wasn't a question, but some people questioned that Harry, this is from Jennifer. It was on Harry Goes Home Part 3. Thanks for the reading, Annabelle. I thought Harry has already had all of the money from his mom, and the money from his grandma was postponed until he was 45 by Princess Anne already. So I just get in there. Let's see. Did Harry get all of the money from his mother? Did he? Temperance, out of balance. Let's see. 4 of Cups. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, it looks like it's gone. The Sun. And we'll know about this soon. We'll know about it. The money that he was given was foundational money. It was supposed to be seed money for his life. Had he stayed in the royal family, this seed money would have gone toward various things for himself. So he could have built a home in the Cotswolds with it. He could have done something like that. That was money that he could utilize. but he was being advised to do something different with it. So the divergence from this, the divergence from what he could have done with it if he were advised properly, has resulted in the money falling out of his pockets, and we wind up, finding out about that. So, does he have all of them? Is there anything left? Is there anything left? The devil. Five of Cups. No, no. Ace of Pentacles. There is very little that has been properly invested. I'm going to say that. So there's very little return on it. He's getting little cha-ching, cha-ching, hearing little cha-chings, not big cha-chings. So little bits of money are coming back from investment. I think he was advised to invest it in their endeavors. Oh, you guys are going to be fabulous. You're going to be, big deal, a big deal in California. So just invest that money in yourself, in your production house, and whatever you're going to do. So there it goes. So that is unfortunate. And the grandma's money, we'll leave that for another one. Scrolling through. This was cool. Also from Harry Goes Home Part 3, from Geraldine. Hi, Geraldine. And bring myself up here so you can look at me. Not that you have to look at me, but it's better than looking at a blank field over here. So I dreamt late last night that Harry was found virtually incoherent under a horse, which he had flogged to. Interesting imagery. The authorities came to rescue him. He was put in an upright floral body bag with only a breathing hold for his nose. The dream tells me it will be a female energy that rescues him. So the one thing that I can tell you with horses in dreams, horses are the power of moving forward. We have the imagery in tarot on the death card, on the sun card, on all of our knights. The knights also, the horses indicate the speed of the suit. So you'll see the pentacle horse is standing very firmly in the ground, while the wand horse is kind of flailing up in the air and like rearing up. So, we do have horses in there, and they indicate what kind of power we have moving forward. The fact that and Geraldine, I love that you did this. So thank you. I really appreciate you throwing a dream interpretation in here for me, because I do like it. So it seems that this is like an inverted tower moment for him, that he has destroyed the future, his forward momentum, and he has sacrificed himself in favor of a woman. So his sacrifice is going to be covered by this floral print, and he will only be peeking out just a little bit. So what are we going to get? Are we going to get a storyline in which Harry has destroyed his forward momentum, and then that loss of himself, because he is trapped under the destruction of his forward momentum, is going to be expropriated by a female, even though a certain female doesn't wear a lot of florals. She probably should. It might soften up her look. But I think it's going to be expropriated by her. And the story that we're going to hear is just going to be a little peek out of the truth, just the tip of the truth, just the tip. Sorry, guys. So being Randy. So let's take a look at that. And I want to bring out the Grimalkin for this. For some reason, I feel like the Grimalkin Tarot wants to be a part of this party. Is this the Grimalkin Tarot? I believe it is. There we go. Just because we're talking about florals, and nope, don't have the right deck. Sorry, guys. Let me pause for a second. Okay, I am back with these cuts like I did it with a sledgehammer. It's okay. I really do like to do my videos all in one go. I once upon a time had someone say that, oh, you're setting up the cards. I assure you, I'm not setting up the cards. I don't have time for that. Nobody has time for that. So this dream that Geraldine had is this a viable storyline? Let's see if we get a reflected storyline here. If we get that tower in reverse, I'm freaking out, guys. I'm freaking out. Oh, and let me pull up my card view here. And we've got one, the moon. The moon. Remember, when we look at the moon, we're talking about lunacy, not being right in the head and not being able to produce with our Queen of Wands in reverse. Eight of Pentacles, working very, very hard, trying to make fetch happen. Seven of Cups, we're dreaming. And the Grimalkin. So what is the Grimalkin in this deck? The Grimalkin is the wise one. This is the 23rd card in the Major Arcana's special card for this deck. The Grimalkin is not being a wise one. So we have this lunacy of being a producer and working and doing things really great, not being very good at it, and really having these pie in the sky ideas with a loftiness that we see all the time. There's a certain amount of arrogance to Harry, a loftiness that really doesn't exist. So top note on this is Two of Pentacles. He's a fish out of water. He's choosing a path that's not appropriate for him. And Empress, he is backing the wrong cultivator on this. He has the wrong person at the helm. So does that mean that we are going to get a sad, sad story like this? Perhaps. I think we do see the reflection of this Queen of Wands in reverse, which is really hamstringing yourself like that flogged horse, stopping the forward momentum. But this is more so not having the forward momentum, not having the ability to have that forward momentum. And we're still stuck in this dreamy state. We're dreaming about working really hard. We're, coming out with that word salad. This Seven of Cups is often a word salad kind of card, more so than the Seven of Swords, word salad. We get more of the floweriness with the cups here. So did we take a wrong direction, a wrong turn with this poor mother? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think the reputation and the storyline will be dictated by that mother at some point. So is Harry's legacy going to be responded to by his wife at some point? Yes, I think she is going to be talking about his legacy and what went right and what went wrong. So bringing me up again. So there's one. And the best thing I can have, hang on, I'm just going to pause. Okay, so this one is pretty wild. So this is from Jennifer. She commented on Harry Goes Home Part 2. Thank you, Annabelle, for another great reading. Prayers for continued healing for Princess Anne. I agree. I love Princess Anne. I know she is still not 100% since her accident. So thoughts and prayers with her, of course. Mystical Fortunes did a birthday reading for Princess Anne, and she's still having some after effects from the concussion still, so we need to be praying for her. I love Mystical Fortunes too. I think she's fantastic. So super, super cool. Here's the question. Do you think there's an active attack on you readers that are pro whales and not pro H&M? Because my observation are that many of you have been struck with illnesses and injuries in the past months. First, it was everyone getting colds, even COVID. Lately, it's been more physical ailments. Myself, or yourself, Tarot by Andy, who I also love Andy, and allegedly Tarot, who I'm unfamiliar with, I'm going to have to go look them up, are all having physical ailments at the moment. I have been praying for protection from evil for all of my favorite readers for quite some time now. It's just an idea that keeps nudging me at night. Prayers and blessings to you. Going through pain is horrible and not fun. So for those of you that don't know, I have a couple of bone spurs in my spine, and they are terrifically painful. And basically, I was a gymnast when I was younger, and this is, this is just part and parcel of being beat up. And so being beat up as a youth. I was also, I surfed, I skateboarded, I was a competitive swimmer and diver. Not that that really does anything. I did hit my head on the board a couple of times. So, but nonetheless, so see if there's an active attack. If there is a little bit of that. Oh, before I do that, so I do have people that ask about, hexes and someone put a curse on me, someone put the Malaloika on me, I had the evil eye on me, that kind of stuff. I truly believe that there are people that are out there that can do that. They can put a little bit of a juju on you. But I also believe that the power of yourself, you can deflect that. So every day when I wake up, I do a protection ritual before I even get out of bed, before I get up and get my coffee. I think that it's really important to, just like you would actively maintain and clean your home, maintain and keep your energetic fields clear. So, simple routines for that with little white light coming down, have it, blast out, go out to, your property line, your neighbors, you can cover everybody with this great big bubble of sparkly golden light from the universe and keep doing that. I burn incense on the reg. I will salt things periodically as needed. I think just doing your protection rituals when you're doing readings, you need to say, hey, I only want the information that I can handle, that I understand, that I'll be able to impart in a sensitive fashion. And also, you can open and close the circle as you will with that conduit of information. So when we open the circle, you can take a wand like mine, do a circle above your head clockwise, close it up counterclockwise. You can do that. Use a piece of selenite. As always, I get all of my crystals from Alicia Wicker, aliciawicker.com. She's another YouTuber here. All of you, I'm pretty sure, are familiar with her. She's amazing. I love her. She's a good friend of mine. And her crystals are unparalleled. They are unparalleled. They're all great. So let's see. Is there an active energetic attack on some of us tarot readers? So let's see. Let's see. I'm going to bring up the card view and I'm bringing out the Ellen Cannon read because I think that this is this is my most expensive deck. And I think it's a really powerful deck. I was tossing up whether I was going to bring out the Thoth or the Ellen Cannon read. But so let's see. Is there an active energetic attack on me? Let's see. Temperance. So that's a perhaps. And what's crossing it is the sun. I'm doing a good job. Queen of Cups. Somebody is really mad at me. Six of Cups back in the past. The High Priest there. Holy moly. You know what? I think there's a little faction out there. Not that I'm like the most important reader in the whole YouTube world. There's plenty of readers out there, plenty of readers that I follow. I'm just an itty bitty channel as far as YouTube is concerned. I'm not a big channel, but this absolutely looks like there's a little bit of funky cold Medina business going on. So, how do these people see me? How do they see me? They see me as perpetuating a lie. How do they see themselves? As the correctors of that with the five. This is Six of Swords and this is the Five of Wands. Hopes and fears on their part. The hope is that they're going to protect their empress, and final outcome is Nine of Pentacles, me being a little underprotected. So what this tells me is that I need to step up my protection ritual. So sounds like a little time for Sage of the Property. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more, a little bit stronger on what I do with these folks around me. So, there's a lot of talk about so and so, her name, this one's wife. There's a lot of talk about her being part of a group or an organization that meets like maybe around a bonfire and does like terrible things to tarot readers online. um, I don't think that she is intimately involved in one of those groups. So what's a little disturbing is when you want to align yourself with an organization like that, and I hope you guys can read between the lines. So I'm trying to be really clean in my conversation here. When you align yourself with an organization like that, there has to be some fidelity with that organization. And I think that she's an individual that steps into a situation and it's really self-serving. She thinks that she's smarter than everybody else, so she will try and take advantage of those situations. I think organizations will be very reluctant to embrace her. The big one with the Celebrity Center, and I did comment on this in another chat string. The big Celebrity Center organization has never reached out to them because I think that they are really not someone that you want to be part of your team. I just don't think that there's any value to bringing them on board. What would be the value of, say, one of those organizations that has bonfires and runs around and, I'm just doing the tropes here, but you know what I'm saying? What would be the value for them to bring someone who is obviously a leaky sieve, as leaky as a sieve, and it's just going to blast all your information all over the place? What would be the value to that? So, is she part of a greater organization that has a lot of energetic power? I don't think so. I just don't think so. So let's bring this up again. So let's see. Is she attacking? Is there an attack on all of the readers out there? Is there an attack? King of Wands. Yes. Yes, that's a yes card. But it's not working. It is absolutely not working because, when you're on the side of the light in the world, it's very hard to extinguish it. The efforts are there, but the goal is not achieved. The prize does not materialize. There are too many that are working with light and they're well guarded for the fight on this fight between good and evil, black and white. Not black and white, I'm sorry. Shadow and light. It's there are too many people that are strongly aligned with the light that are working with this. And at the end, everybody's going to come out of this okay. So, but this is one of the cautions, is that this Nine of Swords in the Ellen Cannon Reed deck is not the Nine of Swords that we have in other traditional tarot decks. It's more of getting on that starting block before a race and popping off and diving into the water or running, into your sprint. So it's that kind of a tense energy right before a duel. So when it's in reverse, I think a lot of us have let our guards down. I think we've just kind of, because she's so ineffectual about so many other things in her life. I think we've all kind of let our guard down. So maybe we should buddy up and toughen up on this one. So yeah, just and for you all, again, that little meditation where you bring the light down, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So let's see. I'm just gonna so this is a little bit off. Um from it's not actually a question that someone asked, but will the Spencers welcome Harry back? Will the Spencers give him a better chance? And I'm going to use the Lenormand of the Enchantment, which is a very, very pretty deck by Yasmin Westwood, written by Calliope. But it's a very pretty deck. Has a little gold edge to it. I don't know if you can see that in the light. But let's bring up the card. So will the Spencers welcome Harry back? Will the Spencers take him on? Anchor. Huh. That's interesting. The Whip. The Mountains. So repeated hard things are in the past. And the Tower, isolation and protection in Lenormand. The Letter, cry for help. Clouds, 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 clouds. The Heart, there we go. Things are getting better, nice and warm. The Cross. And the Snake, oh boy. So unfortunately, it does not look like Harry really gets to get away from this, but I do think that we isolate him. Repeated difficulty results in isolation. Is this with the Spencers? Possibly in the future. They are his only hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. So he may ask them to take him on in the future. That may be a good place to kind of tuck him away and let him heal up from what he needs to do. The Star is also a healing card. It does offer healing. This is our past, present, future. We're going to do that past, present, future. It's a dark reading, unfortunately. Information that anchors him in this sadness. So is the Letter the book? Now there is a book in Lenormand as well, a book card, which is information and data. This is more of a declaration versus documentation. So a letter would be more of an assertion, a declaration. Whereas the book would be documentation. It's done. We're kind of wrapping it up. It's the contract that is signed. This would be the contract that is presented in a sense. So the presentation of this anchors him in the sadness. So I think this is, we're going to pull it out here. The man, I think oh gosh, it even kind of looks like William. Look, a little bit of William there. I think information, you are done. You are stuck in the life that you lead now. We're going to go to a diagonal here. Your heart locked you in and led you to isolation. These are underlying forces. We also see this repeated confirmation and commitment to the Snake has also caused some trouble. This is, you repeatedly have said, I'm staying with my wife, my wife, my wife. It was more Borat than Harry, wasn't it? So, in the future, the Heart has to bear the burden of the Snake. Snake is a very feminine energy in Lenormand. And his heart breaks as a result of the Snake. It's really not a good reading. There's a fox. One of the ants will be able to help him cut this off and will provide loyalty. So it's one of Princess Diana, Princess of Wales. It's one of her sisters, I think, that is going to come to the fore. I don't think Uncle, what is his name? Uncle Earl Spencer, whatever his name is. I almost said Marks and Spencers. Sorry to all my British friends out there. But I think it's one of the aunts that will eventually come to his rescue and say, listen, enough is enough. We got to get him out of there. He can't be, this homeless dweeb on the street. So interesting little Lenormand for him. So we're not only doing Mixtape Tarot Monday, but we are doing Mixed Lenormand. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. This is the video is almost an hour long. I don't want to make these videos too long for you. I know Mixtape Monday, you guys do like it a little bit longer. So this way I can answer all your questions. So let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see in the next one. For next week, like I said, this is your Monday morning kickoff. So, when you get into the office and you're trying to pretend that you're working, you can listen to me in your ear. I hope you guys have a great day. Again, I want to remind you, I have the 20% off Solstice sale for the rest of the summer on private readings. We also have the digital courses up for Lenormand. I am working on the extended dance remix of the Tarot 101. Right now there's a 3-day free tarot course in there, but I want to get the whole kit and caboodle tarot course out for you so you really can start your study and your practice and start to get into the meat of things and learn tarot the way I did. It's quick, it's easy. Well, it's not quick, but it's easier than just trying to study from a book. You'll get videos, nice, easy, digestible bites, a journal, a workbook that you can work through, and it's all digital. And there will be some live classes sprinkled in here and there. I'll invite you guys to some live classes, some webinars. So you can go right down below. You can sign up for my school. It's no obligation to do the 3-day free tarot class. Like I said, the Lenormand class is up for purchase right now. I have a number of students in it that are having a great time with it. So if you're one of them, you can comment down below and tell people what you think of the class and the format that I used. But until next time, have a great day. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys later.